You're being scammed off your time. Welcome back, my incredible audience, to the best creatures of Sonaria's news anchor. Today, we're talking about something less sophisticated and something most of us can agree with each other. Artefact species were mistakes. Yes, I spelled the word right in the title. You don't have to think you're slick. Anyways, I'm not gonna slam on Sonar Studios like they were an evil group for creating this. Because at the end of the day, it's honestly just a business tactic and a game mechanic to have dedicated players play for longer or interested players to start dedicating. It's not horrible and it's also not innocent by any means. It's simply a straightforward idea. If you have time and the commitment, you'll get these cool looking species. If you don't, too bad. It's not their fault. And I have to say, I agree with that. They shouldn't be blamed for everything. Before you think I'm being sponsored by them or I have a gun at my head or I suddenly just feel like licking boots, I want you to think of the perspective of a business owner, specifically a game developer in Roblox. With so many competition, right? You would want your players to be dedicated and interested. Even if the grind is horrible and ridiculously hard at times, it's still a successful idea. There's still thousands of active players, and many of them will rush to get the newest species. So, Sonar Studio isn't evil for doing something that benefits them while also being supported by their player base. I will say this though, it is a bit crappy to make it so hard that you're forced to sometimes use Robux. It's like the cute little attempt in squeezing out whatever from you. The entire thing itself, from the player's perspective, is just that it's too hard or too time consuming and the studio doesn't care enough to actually improving or bettering the experience. They're just Sonar Studios just too busy with the new stupid horse game and these unwanted little updates and events. That's why there are a lot of angry players. It's not because the artifact species mechanic idea itself is evil. It's not caring for your players and ignoring them. But that's fine. The game is still thriving, it's making bank, and it's still getting a good amount of players. There's no point in Sonar Studio changing anytime soon because they don't see the point. They're benefiting it, and the players seem to like it. And they have already, in the past, confidently changed many things that have been accustomed to us to just make the game harder to play and plain like it makes it plain boring to enjoy as well without feeling like you're playing this game as a duty to grind and get species, especially for the collectors. The artifact species themselves are pretty well made for most of them. Their stats are busted though, so I'll let you all be the judge of how good or bad that might be. All in all, I think the problem is it's the greed and ignorance. It's not the silly little tactic to keep players in, that's not the problem. But if any of you watching this video still thinks that the concept of having artifact species is the problem, ask yourself this, right? Ask yourself, do I like the artifact species? Do I want them? Am I currently trying to grind them? Right? Grind for them, right? If you say yes to all three of these questions, you're not helping by supporting this supposed problem. If you say no, good for you. You have a life. That's all I have to say, right? It's pretty cut and dry. It's the thought of like thinking this is okay and that players are gonna power through it just because they have good statistics and not actually listening to players' complaints and suggestions is why we're angry. Not because of the mechanic itself. It's just not making it easier because it's already incredibly hard to properly enjoy this game. But yeah, thank you for watching. Tell me your thoughts. I might have gotten it completely wrong or I might be spot on. Who knows? Be the judge. I'm Frown. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.